You're watching Olsen Spec.
I'm putting injectors in the rusty crusty 964, which Sam has pointed out is not rusty and crusty anymore. This one, we're actually waiting on the car to come back from paint, which is coming back here in about an hour. But all I have left on this one is I got to button up. I got my injectors back from service today. I got to set cam timing, finish dressing it, bolt the exhaust on, and it's ready to go in the car. This was a 3.8 conversion. So it got a 3.8 conversion, ported and polished heads, little ECU flash. Nothing crazy, nothing we can't execute quickly, but a nice little horsepower bump for the guy. He should be super happy with it.
Tim, we get a lot of questions about horsepower.
Oh my God. Yeah, so, you know, a lot of people ask us how much horsepower. I don't talk about horsepower. Horsepower is simply put just a number. The problem with discussing horsepower publicly, especially on social media, is it's different. Every dyno is different. You have things like barometric pressure, temperature, the type of dyno, the time of year. The horsepower numbers are all over the place. We don't focus on horsepower. We focus on drivability. We focus on stoplight to stoplight performance and, you know, under 5,000 RPM performance, because that's where people spend most of their time. So no, I don't just publicly discuss horsepower numbers, because when I spit a horsepower number, it's what it made to the wheels. And other people are like, this is what it makes at the crankshaft. I don't care what it makes at the crankshaft. I care what it makes at the wheels, because I'm driving a car. It's rear wheel horsepower. We're going down the block. So it's not something that we publicly discuss. I'm working on this 3.8 liter conversion on 964. Customer, as part of our light restoration package, want to do an engine upgrade, which is no problem. So when we do these engine upgrades and the light restorations, we do stuff that we can execute fairly quickly. It's a repeated package that we do all the time, and it's performance driven, and it's got great results. So 3.8 liter, only Ellen Engineering is the only vendor we'll use for that. And I'm just buttoning up the injectors, which we sent out, had rebuilt, flow tested. And yeah, it's all coming together. I'm excited to see the look on this guy's face when he goes ripping down the block for the first time. I cannot wait.
Testing. I'm going to keep talking because I'm testing the microphone, Alex. I'm not weird, you're weird. Why are you worried about what I'm doing with the microphone and the fact that I'm testing the audio? You shouldn't be, you know, looking at me like I'm a psychotic, crazy idiot or anything. That would be ridiculous to do such a thing, to be looking at me in a way like I'm not the normal one. I'm not the crazy guy. You're the crazy guy. So, you know, we've got to talk on a few different levels to make sure that this sounds normal and good. All right, Tim, I know you've had the other camera with you.
Crankshaft spins in opposite rotation of the camshaft, so I want to go back a hole. I'm going to stick it out of this one, go in the hole right next to it, lock it down. Obviously, I'm not final torque here. No, yeah, I can't wait to see that footage.
That'll be interesting to see, but catch me up. What's been happening?
Where do we leave off? I forgot.
I kind of forgot too.
Well, we're doing the light restoration, right?
Yeah.
Which, turn around, son.
Hey!
Look at that.
It's nice.
So, they came back from paint today. This was the crusty one, dude.
I know.
Remember how crusty this thing was?
It's unbelievable.
It looks great. So it's black. It left black, but it came back black, but it's a CTSV black. It's got a little bit of flake. You see the flake?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. So I did the motor, and now I just got my camshafts back.
Yeah.
So the camshafts went in this morning. Now I'm trying to put my covers on and get all that stuff sealed up. And then I gotta get going on this thing, bro.
But to say, out of our 90 days, we've spent
a lot of time talking about it and not a lot of time doing.
Exactly.
No. So what I'm gonna try to get done this week is I'm gonna try to get that engine, because I just came from Florida. So it takes me, I'm old, it takes me a day or two to get back in the groove, right? I'm gonna try to get that buttoned up tomorrow. And then I think I might start putting trim on. I can put my AC box. Remember we did that for the YouTube?
Yep. People like that one.
For the YouTube, we did the AC box. I gotta put it back in, put my fuel tank back in, probably put my suspension in, which is sitting up on the shelf. And that's about all I can do this week. Oh, and we're gonna do oil tank. So oil tank on this car, it's kind of juicy down here, see? If I can get see how juicy that is? So we're gonna rip this oil tank out, redo all the lines, reseal everything, rebuild the thermostat, and then we're also putting in all new air conditioning lines. We're waiting on 2 of them out of Germany. So that would be all of these vapor barrier hoses. This is all gonna get replaced all the way down the side of the car. These are hard lines. And then here, up over the fender, these are soft lines. So the 2 that go from the receiver driver over to the air conditioning box itself are back ordered out of Germany. They probably won't be here for another week or 2. But we can get everything else done.
And then what's planned for wheels, tires?
Fixie foods. But you have to ask Ed what finish the customer went with, but it's gonna look sick on this one.
Oh, I'm excited.
And then interior, we're probably still 4 or 5 weeks out with interior, but I think we have enough work to start putting some of the finishing details together. Right now I'm getting my covers on. I got all my plating back. I was still waiting on a couple of these chain box covers to come in. So those came in yesterday. And I'm gonna get all my studs built in here and get my plating on. I got new tensioners in. I got my cam timing set to the 1.6 overlap. That was the required spec for that. So everything's dressed up on the top. And I did that. I know a lot of the times in the engines, we build the long blocks first, but I was on a parts hold and we're on a time crunch, right? 90-day time crunch. So I went ahead and dressed everything. Injectors got rebuilt. All the fuel lines are replaced. Now I got my camshafts in this morning. They're already in. Camshafts or cam timing is set. My bench looks like a disaster here because I'm bouncing around back and forth. But I've got new rockers, rebushed, right? So we send these out. We have them all new bushings put in. We have the shafts matched, and then we have all new hardware. So we have the little the collets for the front. We have the nuts for the back, we have all new screws, and we have our RSR washers. So these are kind of cool because, let me get this out of the way here, son. You don't see what I'm doing? I'm moving trash from one box to the next.
One surface to the other.
God, let me go throw this away before I get at myself. Oh, and we're switching gears because we're gonna start working on Fords. We're gonna start working on Fords, so
Fix or repair daily. Keep us nice and dizzy.
I'm surprised with it being cold out, that thing didn't blow up in the parking lot.
I had an F-150, the key word being had.
Why did you? I've had many F-150s. This is my favorite vehicle ever, of all time.
Okay, back to what we were
You want to go
about.
back to, because seriously, Ford is my favorite manufacturer. So basically what we do, and forgive my fingernails, I got to go to the spa tonight and get them trimmed. I got this little thing here. So these rocker shafts, if you don't put O-rings on them, what happens is it sits in here like this, right? So this sits in here like this, and sits in the center, and this is under oil, so there's a galley right there. This has oil in it. What happens if you don't put these rubber seals in is oil will weep. So basically how this works, you have a collar, you have a 5mm headed, 6mm bolt, and then you have a nut on the other side. So what happens is when you tighten this bolt down against the collar, it just squeezes these together a little bit, and that's what holds this in the galley, right? And when that centers it, if oil comes in here and gets into that chamber, it leaks here. We'll come on this side. This sits in here like this, right? Let's hit center. And oil will get in here and it'll leak past here and it goes down into the spark plug holes. Which then goes down on the cylinder, comes out the bottom, and you have a cylinder-based gasket leak or a head, a head gasket leak where the cam tower meets the head. So we put these little O-rings on. Porsche didn't do it from the factory, but they did it on the RSRs. So they're called RSR rocker shaft seals. They're pretty cheap. They're like $3 a piece or something like that, but it's peace of mind. And then we have a little jig, which is cool. So these are super pain in the ass to put on, just because they're hard. So they're super pain in the ass. So I have this little jig. Fastest way to do this is roll it, and the jig is made like this, so it goes past it. That's the key. So you come past it, and then you roll it back, and just kind of fold it into that galley. And of course, now that the camera's focusing on me, I won't be able to do it. So that's easy, right? Versus if you don't have the tool, watch how hard this is. You gotta get it on here like this, try to work it around, and then it's almost impossible to fold this thing in. Then you risk cutting it. So I'd already been done with the proper tool, right?
Yeah. Efficiencies.
Yeah, efficiencies. So now you're past. We struggled to get it past there. And then you just flip it in. So that was significantly harder without the right tool. And then the key to this is you just take a little bit of O-ring grease. We use True Glide, but take a little bit of O-ring grease, put it on there like that. And then how I build these engines is I go front to back with my rockers, right? So that gives me access to pop this guy in here, and I can throw an extension. Let me slide in front of you. You find my tool. Why don't we do one? Why don't we do one for the people so they understand. I take my super long, or my super hard, not hard, my super strong. Come on, Sam, tongue-tied. I take my super strong magnet, like this, pop this guy in here. Of course, now this one doesn't want to cooperate with me because I don't have it tightened down enough. So once I get that started in there like that, I get rid of my magnet, right? And then the key to this is you want to be straight. See, I started straight, and then I just pop it in like that. So I always do it this way and go back to front. Of course, I have to pop my rocker in, but that's the gist of it. So this O-ring will sit here, seal it, it won't leak through.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's the right way to do it, right?
Yeah.
Just like you're gonna do on the Chevy when you get the Chevy back together. The Chevy way.
Oh man, that 350.
The 350?
She runs, but she ugly.
She runs, but she's ugly.
Oh.
Sorry, buddy. She runs, but she's ugly. That sounds like, well, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say what that sounds like. Just gonna leave that at that.
We'll leave that at that.
Yeah, we're not gonna comment too much on that. That was pretty good though.
Yeah.
She run, but she ugly. All right, so before you came in and interrupted me, I had a nice little pile of seals and you made me move everything, and here they are.
That's typically how things run here. I show up and things go wrong.
Create chaos.
Curse of the camera.
Yeah, you create chaos. What's going on with the 930?
930, I know Alex is working on the exhaust exits. Pat was attaching the axles and running some wires. Don was working on the pedals.
Who was doing Don stuff?
No, Don was working on the pedals.
Don was working, or is he doing Don stuff?
A little bit of both, I guess.
Yeah, I think he was doing Don stuff.
I saw him up there. I caught him in the act.
Hey, is Don over there working, or is Don doing Don stuff?
Don's working.
You're working?
I just got on the phone with I'm working on an email. I'm working on the 930. I'm working on the bill. You guys cannot task me with anything else. And while you guys were over here playing, making videos.
While we were over here playing.
We took a video of you guys, and it's in your folder, Sam.
Good.
Oh yeah, we took a video of you while you guys were doing, lunchtime things.
Lunchtime things. This f***ing guy. Lunchtime things. Let me tell you something, son. Did you tell the people about our bet?
Our bet?
Did you tell the people about our bet?
2025.
This f***ing guy.
Guaranteed to book more hours than Tim Olsen. All while doing my
guy.
What am I? I'm not the CEO. I guess I'm the COO.
The chief operating officer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Should we tell the people what I told you about that bet when you lose?
Yeah, that I'm gonna hang your work gloves above your doorway here.
I said I was going to hang his resume over my toilet.
I didn't know Don had a resume.
He doesn't. I'm gonna make a fake one and hang it over my toilet.
He's definitely gonna lose.
Oh, dude. I don't know about that, son.
Let me.
I think you better go to school.
I got Nick in my pocket, and he's the one running the books.
Oh man, the guy in the inside.
I can't even imagine the bull that's coming out of your mouth right now. I can't even imagine. Straight bull.
They're pretending to work. I'm Tim Olsen. I can build the best motor, air cooled.
Sam's over there like.
I can film the best.
Sam's over there like, I don't know the difference between a hex bolt and a Phillips screw.
But I'm gonna pretend like I know what I'm doing over here.
You're very nice.
I'm going back to Florida. I'm gonna put up with this bullshit. Oh man.
Say it again.
Tim, he was just talking about heading back to Florida because you can't take the heat in the kitchen over here.
Okay.
Let him know that's where most old people go.
Can't take the heat in the kitchen.
Florida worthy.
Let me tell you something, son. You're you know what? I can't say that on camera. There ain't enough bleeps in the. Oh man.
Well, now we're completely derailed.
I forgot what we were even talking about or what we were supposed to be doing.
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know. What were we talking about?
We're talking about this engine I'm putting together.
That's right. Oh, look
This
at
is
that in the cover.
3.8 Ellen Engineering 3.8, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, those covers that came in look really good.
Yeah, we treated them ACF 50, which is how you treat magnesium. You got to throw some B-roll of it before.
Oh yeah. Oh
This
yeah.
was stupid.
This was nasty.
It was stupid.
Just vile.
It was stupid. Somewhere in there are the old valve covers, the old magnesium valve covers, and they had holes in them. It was just ridiculous. The hands down the worst one we've ever done. Now I can pop my Dizzy in, my distributor. You put a distributor in 350 yet?
Man, I haven't done anything. Next thing I probably got to do on it is.
All I hear you do is talk about it, man. We got to get that thing going.
I had a dream that I brought it here, but the problem was.
I had a dream.
I had a dream.
You had a dream. You brought it
I had a dream.
here?
I brought it here, but the problem was you were
Christ.
garnishing my wages because
Storage?
for storage and to work on it. So I was actually only getting
That's
more and
illegal.
more in debt.
That's illegal. You can't garnish wages, bro.
Well, I'm sorry that my dream doesn't hold up to the legal system.
So we got to get our Dizzy in. Where's cylinder one?
See, the thing I really want to do is I can't decide if I want to do a 383 or.
383 is not Porsche talk.
Yeah, it's.
No,
it's-
we're not
it's-
talking Porsche, son.
It's small
We're
block
talking.
talk.
We're talking awesomeness.
It's like, I don't know if I want to go for the stroker kit or keep it 350 but go for higher compression.
You think this is going to be the right angle here? So we got to get to that's cylinder one, right? This little mark is cylinder one. That guy right there.
Yep.
So this has got to point to that. So I think that's going to be right. Let's see. I think that's going to be right. I think we need to go something like that. should see that thing. Move in. If I can get over the, let me grab a tool. Let me get past this O-ring. See if she moves into position. Hey, Alex, I can't concentrate when you're tapping. No, we're a tooth off.
The real question is, do I try to just keep everything on it and try and get the interior workable, or do I start tearing it down to the frame and start over?
I think you should tear it down to the frame and start over. That's what I think, if you ask my opinion. What would Olsen, what would we do at Olsen Motorsports?
We'd tear that sucker down to the frame.
We would. I'm having difficulties.
Curse of the camera.
No, it's not that. It's the curse of a dual distributor. Oh, I just felt it go. That's too far. Why is this thing fighting me today? Why is it fighting me today?
I don't know.
I'm having trouble. I need to go back to Florida. I'm telling you, man, that cold weather.
Today it's genuinely cold.
No, today it's f***ing cold. When I came out this morning to walk the dog, it was -4 below, with a wind chill of -20.
It'll wake you up in the morning.
No, I wasn't happy. That's cold, bro.
Yeah, genuinely.
And then, of course, you know, the dog, he's out there and he's like, oh, it's not bad out this morning.
Let's go for a stroll.
I'm not sweating. I'm not panting. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So he decides that he's gonna take a sweet time. He's gonna take a sweet time finding the perfect spot. And I was not happy. So by the time I got back inside, you know, and I tried to be tough guy, and it didn't work out. My hands were cold, everything was cold. So the distributor is in, timed. I can get my cap on, finalize that. Oh, bro.
Just come back from Florida.
You should have seen it.
No suit, no parka, and a hat.
You should have seen it. I went out to the car to get something. I was gonna get my wallet to give to the kid so he could go pay for the dog, and he parks it all the way down at he parked it in the city of Chicago. So I go outside I was gonna cowboy it, you know.
Dave style.
Yeah, Dave style. I had no jacket on or nothing. And then I walked. I'm like, where did he park this car?
Why are you recording me?
Dude. I didn't care until I had to go out and get the goddamn wallet.
I don't even.
Did you give me my credit card back? Yeah, so it was cold. It was super cold. Think this thing's gonna fire up on the first try?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Tim Olsen.
Why would it not? Why would it not? Right? Car's back, so all that's together, and then I gotta go hunt down some parts. What else do we need to talk about?
I think that's it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was just getting us back up to speed on everything that's been happening.
We'll shoot a lot tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
All right, Tim, we're back at it.
Yeah, buddy. Getting this thing, we gotta get this thing buttoned up, man. Tired of looking at it.
Get it out of here. Gotta look at something different.
We gotta move on to something different. But no, we'll have it done here shortly. We're putting in rocker shafts. I'll show you a quick trick. I know I always get tongue-tied with that. I'll show you a quick tip, right? This is how I put my rocker shafts in. I just take a big ass magnet, super strong magnet, right? And then I take my rocker, little tiny bit of lube there, a super tiny amount there because the O-ring or the O-ring that you're pushing through is going to wipe most of that out, and just a little tiny film on the foot. You don't want to put a ton of lube here because you're about to stick a feeler gauge in there. So if you have a ton of lube on that, then your feeler gauge is going to be all jacked up, right? So I just put just a little tiny lube on there. so it slides nice. Drop this guy in there. Drop this guy in there and send it. You just kind of wiggle it around once you're in the groove. And then you have the big journal here and a small journal. And you just want to tap that guy till it comes flush right there. That's the perfect amount. So on these journals, I have a little cut Allen, right? Just take an 8mm Allen and cut the end off. So you have enough clearance, and then torque this guy down to factory specs, which that feels pretty good. And then once you start to squeeze it, you don't have to hold the other side. And these are relatively tight. 13.2 is the torque on these, so it's pretty freaking tight for a little 6mm bolt. Now, I don't do my valve adjustment now, just because that's a different set of tools. So I put all my rockers in, and then I go back and do the valve adjustment later.
Now, I think you mentioned this before, but there's a reason why you start on this side and go that direction, right?
Yeah, so because it's easier to use a 3/8 extension through the journal. I can go all the way here, right?
Right,
And
okay.
that ensures I'm going straight, versus the other way would be to take a screwdriver like this and kind of pry it in and get that thing to slide in and fight past the O-ring. And when you pry on a screwdriver like this, you're not going straight. So you end up, high siding it, and then you can screw your journals up, and it's just easier. Obviously, if you're doing this in car, a choice. You gotta do what you gotta do to make it work. And then when you get to the end, obviously, you have power steering pump assembly here. This whole thing hangs off here, so you need to come and make sure your 5mm set screws on the inside. Otherwise, you have a really bad day. Which is that bad day would be like not having your microphone turned on, Sam, like you did yesterday.
We're
not gonna talk about that.
confirm nor deny that I was involved directly with that.
You are accountable and responsible for media equipment, so that's a you problem, buddy.
Well, we know that we are.
Would you agree, Don? Anytime the microphones don't work and the audio comes out all f***ed up, that's a Sam problem.
I was gonna say, it sounds like a Sam problem.
I still generally would blame Don.
He's trying to point the finger at me. I'm like,
I'm just gonna keep dumping you the Ray-Ban footage.
Yeah.
And figure it out.
yeah,
That's a you. What would Tim say?
that's a you problem, buddy.
I love the Don Cam.
The Don camera,
Don Cam always gets some golden moments.
does it?
Oh yeah.
We should all get brain taps and meta glasses.
I'm gonna pass.
On a brain tap? Janet got a brain tap. I'm excited. I want to see what she likes about it, and then I want to get one. Think about like after lunch, we could all have like a quick little, like a 10-minute brain tap session. You know what a brain tap is? No. It's like this little thing you put on your. It's like a set of headphones, and it's got like this thing that you put down in front of your eyes, and then like it plays like music or like some Zen stuff, and it like recenters you.
It transforms you.
It allows you to
Can we
focus.
communicate brain tap to brain tap and see each other through the lens?
No, I always know what you're saying.
So we're gonna have 10 minutes after lunch from now on?
Yeah, we'll just brain tap.
Brain tap.
Yeah.
And we'll just
And we'll kill it in the
increase our
afternoon.
focus. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll kill it in the afternoon. Absolutely kill it. I think we should at least look into that.
I'm gonna plug in like it's the Matrix.
Huh?
I'm gonna go in full Matrix on me, Tim.
I don't know, it's probably some stupid gimmick and, total waste of money. But who knows? You always have to spend time on yourself. Right?
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Like cinnamon rolls and
Well, we discussed this earlier. We know this is the year of less cinnamon rolls.
I didn't have a single cinnamon roll all last year. Bro.
Could you imagine?
No, I can't. I would be really butthurt. I didn't have a single cinnamon roll last year. I've actually never had one of the place that we got. Never had one of their cinnamon rolls.
Missing out. They're good.
I'm sure they're good.
I'm a sucker for cinnamon. I put it just on any like.
You put it in your coffee?
Oh yeah, every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
What about nutmeg?
Sometimes, but I prefer fresh nutmeg.
Fresh nutmeg?
You know, use a little micro grinder on or file.
Yeah,
But,
not that fancy.
Half the time though, I don't wake up early enough to get the espresso machine warm before I leave.
You have an espresso machine?
Oh yeah.
This guy.
You know, every weekend I'm always, you know, got my preferred roaster out in New Lenox.
Come on.
Shout out to Goss.
I knew you were bougie, but I didn't know you were that bougie.
I don't know if I would call it, well, okay.
I would
maybe.
call it bougie. If you have an espresso machine, you're bougie.
Eddie G's got an espresso machine.
This guy's got an espresso machine, and he's got a grinder. He's got his own grinder, and the guy makes his own like special coffees just for Sam.
Yeah, sure.
You know, that's bougie. Who, me?
Yeah.
I have a coffee maker. Why would you say that you're pretty sure I have one? I'm not bougie. I'm subtle. And
Can we go on Instagram and get a vote on this?
Yeah, I think.
Tim subtle,
I am subtle.
Is Tim subtle?
or is he bougie?
No, I'm not bougie. There is nothing about me that's bougie.
Nothing subtle.
Yeah. Subtle.
Engine builders show up to work in
Subtle.
golf pants.
Right. I'm
Well,
gonna do a little
these are my St. Patty's Day pants. And I
Oh
just,
yeah, and it's January.
Yeah, you want to keep on going.
I got dude. That does have to do.
out of my way. It's hilarious. Hey, what are you doing over there? Son,
Caught in the act.
Snap-on comes at noon. I'm gonna start making a list. What are you over there rummaging for?
Remember yesterday I used now, I put it back.
Did you? No, you stuck it on the top.
Well, yeah, that's so you know it got returned.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
See what I got here?
What? What is that?
I'm putting the mirrors back together.
Oh, you
I had
got
to
that?
clearance them on the lathes, you know, the
Yeah.
powder's a little
Yeah.
thick, pretty standard, but starting to reassemble the mirrors.
Yeah, that
We
looked
put a
cool.
we already put a video up in the
Yeah.
photo stream,
Yeah.
so we're gonna make it happen. That's your fault.
Curse of the camera.
You know what I've had to do before? When you powder coat these, you'll run into this at some point in time. Like here, see how you got this edge, this sharp edge right here? Sometimes if you powder, it's better to put like a small chamfer on that edge so it's not 90 degrees
Oh, before you send it to powder?
before you send it to powder.
I like that.
Because if you put like all you got to do is touch off on it. If you put that small chamfer and then you clean the powder coating off later, it won't flake.
I like that.
You know what I'm talking about? I've had to do that before.
So I saw you were cranking the engine over. Why are you doing that?
So I can get back to top dead center on this. So I don't pay attention to the, you can look at the crankshaft and tell you where top dead center is, but I don't pay attention to any of that. I just use, I just go to the back side of the cam, right? So the back, the cam in this is in line. So I just go to the back side of the cam. That way I know I'm at TDC, and then I adjust my valves.
Now with this going to a 3.8,
Yeah.
what has to be changed with the valve train? Anything?
No, valve train's fine. The only thing that we do is, obviously we change everything in the valve train. We do new springs, new hardware, new retainers, all that stuff's new.
But it's not like a different lobe profile or anything.
No, the cam is different. And then when you change the cam, you have to adjust the height of the stem on the valve, right? To get your valve lift and your proper preloads and all that stuff. So you have to do that, but it's not rocket science. To some people it probably is, but it's pretty fairly straightforward. The key is, if you're building engines, the key is to have one guy do the valve adjustment. We've run into things before where my version of how the feeler gauge flows through versus Paul's is completely different, right?
Right.
So then you start running valves and he does that side and I do this side, and you start it up, and not that it won't run right, but it's not perfect.
And then the other thing is, like, if, it's the same, case, the same crank,
Yeah.
but then it's different rods and pistons?
Different rods, different pistons.
And then is it the same compression?
A little bit more compression.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit more compression, which you can adjust. You know, you can adjust your compression with your shims underneath the cylinder heads.
Right.
You can adjust that up or down a little bit, not much. But
You
yeah,
could
it's a
only
little bit
make
more
it like a
compression.
less compressed though if you add shims, right? 'Cause-
Correct. You
Okay.
take it away. Yeah, there's a little bit of adjustment there. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, folks at home, you may not realize that I know I'm the art guy, but I did take more than one engine class. I barely passed.
You took an
It was
engine
the C.
class?
Yeah, I was in. Well, I
what,
did
high
auto tech in
school,
high
or
school, and
you
in
did that in
college.
art school.
No, and well, at Indiana State University, they had an engine class, and
Come
it was,
on.
and in senior year, I did it as an elective, and the professor was like, "Why are you, why are you here?" And I was like, "Oh, I just had the hours, and so I did it, and I barely passed, but I got a
Barely
C.
passed.
Got a C.
That's awesome.
Had to.
What engines were you guys building? Like tractors or?
It was car engines. I think I had to rebuild a Volvo 5-cylinder.
Oh,
I've always had bad luck with the engines I was given. In high school, I had to rebuild a 300ZX engine. It was a nightmare.
they don't do that anymore in high school, do they? There's no more shop class.
It
I
was a
don't think-
community thing. Like, it was not just our high school. It was like a lot of high
right.
schools pulled together for one area. So like I went with high schools from all
Right.
around. Again, I was okay. I don't know if I would work on my car. Well, I'm gonna have to for the truck, but you know.
Oh, you're going to be building your engine in your 350.
I think Dave said it favor. He's like a blind monkey could rebuild a 350.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
If not, I'm pretty sure you can go to YouTube University, and I'm pretty sure there are plenty of how-tos on building a 350 on the YouTube. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, I mean I've already was.
There's not a lot of how-tos on building a Porsche engine on YouTube. That's what's crazy. And I've seen a couple of them, and it's like, I don't know. I have seen some weird techniques.
So with that feeler gauge you've got, is that?
I mean, the one I can't see what I'm doing. There we go.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That's a complete ignorance here. That's a different thickness you've got to kind of shim in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you need valve clearance.
Uh-huh.
Right? And if it's too tight, the problem is if it's too tight, and we see it all the time. We see guys that do, we don't know who did it, but we see cars come in that the valve adjustment is way too tight on them. What that causes is premature wear, right? So, you know, obviously this is your rocker and your shaft. So this is sitting in there. So we see two things. One is improper centering. So if you look here on the narrow side and the thick side of this, we see improper centering where guys will put it flush here. If you put it flush here, see where the O-ring is? This is designed to sit in the center, right? Mm-hmm. You'll see if it's off just a little bit, you'll see this area come into here, and this is the part that squeezes up, right? Because when you tighten these two bolts together at 13.2, it squeezes this shaft just a little bit, and you have these little galleys right here. So that squeezing is what holds it from moving back and forth, right? So you'll see improper centering of that, right? Which causes issues, causes leaks actually. And then the second thing we'll see is the valves are too tight. And when the valve is too tight, what it does is this sits inside of here and it rotates around. It's supposed to rotate freely, right? Keyword freely, it's supposed to rotate, but not too freely. If it's too free, it'll just sit there and it'll just do this. Right? You hear that noise. It's just too loose. So it'll sit there and rotate, but it needs to have some free rotation on it, because if not, then this right here will just be a ton of pressure. So you got it sitting here like this. And if you have too tight a valve adjustment, it puts all the pressure on the bottom of the journal. And this is brass, right? And you get premature wear.
Gotcha.
So that's, plus, if you have it really tight, you can have misfires and stuff like that. But those are the two most common things that we see.
The more you know.
I think it's because of the less they know. Not the more you know. That's the less they know. Sam comes in this morning, and I was like, dude, you look like you're moving kind of slow today. He's like, oh, I'm still waking up. I'm like, go outside and run and go take one lap around the complex, and I don't think you'll be tired anymore. And you know, if he's yawning in the car, you can just open the window and crack it, and that -20 wind chill will wake your ass up in a hurry. Yeah, no excuses, Sam.
Absolutely.
Or you could have just made another espresso
It's true.
with your bougie machine.
Shout out to my son, you know. Should have made that at whatever AM we were up at. Should have made it then.
What were you guys doing last night? Were you playing like Call of Duty or something?
I mean,
They do?
yeah.
I don't know.
It's Black Ops whatever now. Personally, I was playing Baldur's Gate 3.
You were playing video games all night.
Not
and then
all
you come
night.
into work
Not all
and
night.
you just said it on camera. Rewind that camera.
Playing Baldur's Gate 3.
I heard him say on camera, "Oh, I was playing this," and then you come in here, "I'm tired. I don't feel like doing anything today." Come on, I need a bigger toolbox. It's getting out of control.
The bigger toolbox?
I do need a bigger toolbox. Don just got a brand new toolbox. The jealousy factor is crazy. And so he buys a brand new toolbox, and then he gets it like ceramic coated and polished and all this stuff. Must be nice. I don't even have time to clean mine.
See, I'm excited to see when he gets that BMW Straight 6 rebuild.
Yeah, are you working on your retirement plan on that thing or what?
Yeah, say. He threw a big Trubisky on it and then all of a sudden stopped working, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
Because he knew it was a BMW and he's gonna have to pull it right back apart. This is that engine that had the rocker shaft that exploded on it. Remember that?
yeah, I just finished that edit, and again, I still can't
it crazy?
believe I'm standing in front of the same engine. It is.
I haven't seen that footage yet. I was supposed to watch it last night, but
Well, I mean, we still got time.
Cam was going crazy, and
Well, it's because he napped here all day.
oh,
He's still napping right now.
is he?
Yeah. How cold?
He needs a job.
With how cold it is, security's been pretty easy. No one's walking around. Well, for a second, I thought they were playing Good Charlotte over there. That
Are
is
they?
not Good Charlotte. Don't know what.
We had the tunes jamming this morning until somebody came out and said we had to start making a video.
Yeah, I wonder who that guy is. He sounds very annoying.
Dude, I mean, I don't understand it. Like, who wouldn't want to turn on YouTube and, you know, I think we had Tool going or some other stuff. Who wouldn't want to jump on YouTube and watch some guy, some dumbass putting an engine together to like schism or something, you know what I mean? Like 46 and 2, right?
I don't think that's the issue. It's if you'd like to be
If you want to make
paid
money.
for making those videos, that is the matter in question.
We should sign a petition, have the people sign a petition for the YouTube to allow cool music. As long as it's not Sam picking it.
I have great music tastes that are simply underappreciated.
No, it's just you don't understand where you work.
See, I have been told I did put on good music.
Why don't you tell the people what you did that one day, right? When I took your musical privileges away. Why don't you tell the people what you did?
Sometimes you get tired of only hearing rap or metal. Both great genres. Not arguing that. I love that stuff.
Okay.
And then Alex was the only one in the other side. So I said, hey Alex, what type of music do you want? And he's like, how about some...
So now you're gonna put the blame on Alex.
He's
over. Alex, is this how it went down?
Yeah, remember Alex?
I don't know.
And so I was like, all right, we'll play some for us, the artists here.
Yeah, okay.
And so I put on some
Jazz.
It was jazz.
It was jazz.
From Cowboy Bebop.
No, that's not how it went down.
And then I left it on over lunch. You returned. It was still on, and people objected.
Well, then my guys started getting upset, and then they started blaming it on me. So, this will be our last 2 rockers. And yes, I've not torqued anything because I'm just gonna run through and hit them all with a torque wrench at once. I'm all thumbs today. Here comes a dog, I hear him. coming out to say hi. Hi, buddy. What are you doing? Hi, buddy. Did you have a good nap? Yep, that's it. Now he's gonna go back inside. Now that's the life, right?
Yeah. No, he's got a lounge over here.
All right, so now I can just run down the line and torque all these guys. So I think all we're waiting on now is exhaust.
What exhaust did we go with?
Car graphics.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure, I gotta check with the sales guys, but I'm pretty sure it's car graphics.
And then what is our plan for the fan? Because I know we had an
we have a new
odyssey
one.
with that.
This is gonna be good. I might have to cut it. Yeah, it's a new one. There's a new one sitting over there in the drawer.
Oh.
It'll be going in along with our new, we have new valve covers, obviously, because the old ones had holes in them, which was awesome.
Swiss cheese.
Yeah. That will be in probably 30 minutes. 30 minutes we'll do that. First I got to run through this valve adjustment, and then next time the people see us, we'll be putting new valve covers on, new fans. And I got to test the wiring harness. That's one thing I still have to do. Test the wiring harness, which I know the wiring harness is good, but I basically just run 4 amps through each wire just to make sure post hookup everything's good. Injectors got serviced. They were off. One injector was off like 20 or 30, I think it was.
Jeez.
Flow at 200, and then the 993s flow at like 240. 993s are the blue ones, and these are the beige ones. So.
I cannot wait to experience this car after, because really, it didn't drive that bad with me and Don when we test drove it. All right, test drive with Donski. What do we got?
We got a 1990 964. Customers had the car for 2 years and driven it about 400 feet. This is basically part of our first inspection, so we can see everything that's going on with this car, the donor car obviously, before we pull it apart and do a light resto. We're not too concerned with how the interior looks. We're more looking for, you know, everything that works, runnability. We're gonna do an engine build on this, but I want to make sure the trans is working right. You know, just overall, everything in the car, and see how it goes.
All right, let's go. Having a little trouble there?
Yeah, man. Seat don't move.
It set up for me. Granted, I'm squished in. Maybe we should have switched roles. Maybe I should have been the one to drive.
Dude, we actually have half a tank of gas.
Half a tank of gas? Road trip!
We can go on a journey, not just an inspection drive.
Headroom lacking, but for my frame, that's nothing new.
Front end, I can already feel off the curb is feeling pretty loose, you know, probably worn out. 34-year-old car, I'm sure the rubber is pretty dry.
Pretty dry.
I like my humor.
I don't know if I like the idea of you having moist humor, Don. Although, yeah, this is a little dry.
Got a little age dash.
It's all right.
You know? Yeah, it's character.
How's the trans feel?
The shifting feels fine, but I think the knob is loose.
Don't jiggle it too much.
We're not driving much in a couple of years. It feels pretty good, you know?
Well, we've already probably quadrupled the distance it's traveled.
Definitely. It's reliable.
Ooh, we've got... That'll need some fixing. Some of the inside of the door came outside the door. Paulie was working on doing a kind of nose to tail full breakdown. You are absolutely lying down in this car. We're gonna get that fixed too.
It's big pimping.
Man, I really should have been in that seat considering the difference of legroom.
Sam, you're never getting the driver's position.
One day.
If we put you in the driver's seat and me behind the camera, first of all, we're gonna miss all the good footage. Second
and
of
we'll
all,
miss all the important details of what to fix.
well, that too, and
I'll do the after with the pictures.
We should say before they're Olsen spec.
Exactly.
Once the cars are Olsen spec, they're ready for the road. They're roadworthy. You take a trip. We did a build not too long ago, full engine build, and the customer flew in from Florida, picked up the car, and drove it home. No problems, no glitches. He was nothing but ecstatic. I mean, all the gears are going.
And here's something with fifth.
Oh yeah, I hear that too.
Kind of sounds like it's like straight cut gears, but that's more of a race car thing, and I don't think that's what this is. So as far as like checking things off, what's the first thing you're looking for?
When we get in these cars, first thing we're looking for is, you know, does it run and drive? You know, second, this car, believe it or not, it drives pretty straight. Not that it's not going to need an alignment or everything replaced, but as of right now, in its condition, for it to drive this straight, that's pretty rare for us to see. But overall, on a light resto build with a donor car, we're looking for, you know, we want to make sure all this stuff works, electronics, the electric, the heat, the air, all that stuff, before we go ahead and rip it apart, because we want to know what we got to fix, so when we put it back together, we're not back to the diag again.
Right. Fifth sounds so strange.
Yeah, we've never heard this on these drives, huh?
No, it's always a new sound every time. But hey, that's...
I can tell you based off our speed, it's not a jet engine.
After we're done with it, it might be.
Oh yeah. All the signals work in this one. We did a light check before we left. Safety first.
Safety first.
Headlights, fog lights, brights, turn signals, reverse, everything worked. That is probably the first time I ever got in one of these cars and all the lights actually worked.
We are well and above much safer this time. I will say also, these seats are really comfortable.
Actually, I mean, you know, I'm ready to take a nap here.
What to say? You're just straight lounging.
Hey, I did test out the wipers before we left. You might want to get this on tape, but there's some interesting things going on here.
Okay, well, we'll add that to the list of things to do. Well, for a donor, that's perfectly fine, but I really enjoyed that.
At least it's on your side. It's about to give up. Oh, this one just gave up.
Oh, well, it's tired. Oh, all right. There she lies.
Driver's window works good, nice and fast, up and down.
That's speedy.
How's yours looking?
Let's find out. Okay, we got there. All right, and she thinks about it a little bit, but that's not bad.
A little slower, but not bad. We've seen a lot worse. So, oh no, I mean, this thing needs new glass and obviously a new dash, and we're gonna do a custom interior,
and
Olsen spec.
A better radio.
Gonna go with that new modern radio, mild modern sound system, nothing crazy, engine rebuild. Obviously. Yeah, that's odd. It's off, and it's still trying to get back. You know, mild engine build, but really just update it and get this thing, you know, daily driver worthy.
It's like I knew we were getting a donor car, but I didn't know we were getting donated a ghoul. Okay, well, hey, she pulls.
She's got some life in her, actually.
Caught me off guard with that one. We'll get her some new tires too.
I feel like we got the wiper up. It's like flipping everybody off.
It's a car with attitude. I like.
It's trying to get back.
It really is. Donor car. Very important to understand. It's a donor car.
It appears that all the gauges are working. Speed, tag, gas, oil, pressure. The clock's wrong, but I don't know if it's working. We'll have to watch over the next.
We're on Olsen time, which is its own anything. At least the speedo's not in kph, like the one time I thought we were going
140.
140, and I was like, what?
And we were doing probably 60.
Donor car, light restoration, we're doing good, right?
Oh yeah, I'd give this one a, 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean it's what we need, and we're gonna make it into something great.
Well, we're gonna turn it into 12 out of 10.
Not bad with me and Don when we test drove it, so I cannot wait for the absolute revolution this has gone through.
I didn't go on a test drive. I don't think I was here.
Yeah, I think you were down in Florida.
Was I?
I think so. Yeah, because I remember we talked about how you had such a shock to the cold weather on returning.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You guys did all the fun stuff while I was down there. Let me set this lash, and then we'll go through all the new shiny parts we have. Yeah. I'm doing the Olsen shuffle.
Ooh. About to say there's never a shortage of good, cool media stuff going on. So I was
with
watching.
The old Olsen shuffle.
Oh yeah. Well, I was over, getting Paul sealing up that engine, and I see you've got the tins on, got the valve covers on.
While you were away.
While I was away.
While you were away, I was getting stuff done.
I was getting stuff done too.
Uh-huh. So I got the valve covers on, which is easy. Spark plug wires in. I got the engine tins on. Remember how bad these were?
Yeah, this looks incredible. I love the.
Well, we had to buy new tins.
Oh, they still look good.
Yeah, it's an incredible amount of money for Porsche engine tins. An incredible amount of money. Let's just say you could buy a very nice winter car for the price of Porsche engine tins. You could probably rebuild your entire Chevy V8 for the price of Porsche engine tins. $5,000.
Ooh. Yeah, $5,000 with I could do plenty with $5,000.
Right? Think about how much cool media equipment we could buy for $5,000. You know what's even more incredible? In stock.
I mean, you definitely pay for the fact that they made it and that it's there.
Sitting on the shelf.
Yeah,
Sitting on the
come
shelf.
and get it.
How fast you want it. But that's why we're in the space we're in, Like if you're dealing with BMWs and all that other kind of stuff, it's a different ball game. Then you just end up there, cars just sitting buried on the lots, just waiting on parts. But no, I'm excited. I got the power steering pump in, I got the belts on. I think I have everything going that we need on here. And then the next thing I gotta do is fix the fan.
Ah yes, the odyssey of the fan.
Yeah, I gotta fix the fan. I gotta fix the fan, get this, and then a couple little small plumbing things. This bad boy's ready to go in the car.
Let's see.
But the car's not ready for it. So I have to do this thing called put some bits on it.
Like,
right?
What, like the...
Like everything.
Like everything. I didn't know if you just meant like the heat shield that goes on the back of the car, or just everything.
Yeah, we have to put everything on. So this gets little hangers. I gotta find the little plastic hangers that go right there. And I gotta find my little 5mm bolt that goes right here. Stack these two little guys on top of each other so it goes to the coil pack. So I gotta find my little screw, and then these all sit right here. Ready to go. We got our distributor in, we got our fan sensor in, we got a crank pulley on. All of our new fuel lines are in. Harness is in. I just gotta connect the vacuum tubes back here. New fuel return line. That's in. New fuel pressure regulator. New boots. New idle air control valve. Yeah, all that stuff's new. So she should start right up and run like a champ. No, I'm just amazed at some people's crimping abilities.
Oh, I thought we were still talking about the assholes online who are talking about us bending cars and breaking. Oh yeah, come on, dude. Let's be real. Dude, we've never had to send a car back to body because we bent the fender while we were pushing it around the shop or outside.
It's unbelievable.
Never happened.
It truly is unbelievable.